Hey, what's going on, guys? Sam here from Lake Pro Tackle. We've got a few brand new JDM offerings here at the shop and online, of course, lakeprotackle.com. We're going to go ahead and roll through these for y'all. I'm very excited about these. These are going to be amazing lures for some of the cold water we have coming up. Of course, depending on how you fish them, they can be pretty universal throughout the year. So let's go ahead, break it down. We've got some brand new offerings. We got some new ones here at the shop, a bunch of different colors as well. I'm not gonna go over all the colors. You can check them out online, and I'm gonna have links down below for y'all to check those out. So number one, this guy right here is an amazing finesse style worm. This is the Fish Magnet Maggot Tail. I'll take it out of the package for y'all, but this guy right here is 4.5 inches, comes in a pack of 7, and we've got a couple different colors. This right here, like I said, is an amazing finesse style worm, and it also has SAF scent on it. The SAF scent, very similar to something that G-Crack uses, and really gets those fish to hold on and not let it go. It helps them also hunt it down as well. So the Maggot Tail worm, look at this guy right here. It is, again, 4.5 inches. This bait has the big kind of wedge blade style tail at the end, which helps induce vibration in the lure as it's falling or being dragged around on the bottom, or even like mid-range. You know, if you're dragging it through a brush pile, it's going to add a little bit accentuated movement in the lure itself. And it's not very long, so it's very finessey. What's great about this one, again, is you can rig it up so many different ways. Of course, little tiny shaky heads, very, very simple. But one of the great and easy ways to fish this is on a flick shake style head, where you add just a little bit of weight, maybe with the Vespa or like an actual Jackall flick shake, something like that. A weighted wacky style is going to have a ton of action as that bait goes down. As you can see, as I'm shaking it here, this tail is going to really move around and really keel the worm. So instead of just getting a shake on the way down, you're getting a little bit of a roll, which can really help induce a lot of bites. Again, it does have that SAF scent on it, or that SAF on it, and it smells like Frito corn chips. So not you know, foul smelling in any way. Actually, I kind of enjoyed the SAF scent. And if you are interested on adding more of the scent that G-Crack uses, we do have the SAF spray available from G-Crack, available online. So this guy right here, again, gonna be a great finesse worm on the shaky, Nico, even drop shot. This is going to be a good option for y'all. Wacky, very, very finessey. And if you're a BFS guy, you should definitely give these a try, but of course, not pigeonholed to BFS specific. Next up, we have these guys right here. These are Jackall Shibo flats. Now, these are the 3.6 inch model. These are going to be another gill style profile, not super similar to a lot of the other gill profiles like the Deps bull flat or anything like that. These are kind of in their own class. These are going to be very, very bluegill oriented. And as you can see here, it's got a flat top, and then it has a little bit of a curved and ribbed undersection here. Now, the way this was designed and made to be fished was on something like a free rig, Carolina rig, bottom dragging. Optionally, you can easily put this on like a standard football head or even a football jig if you really wanted to. But the beauty of this is the ridges on the underside of this bait. Now these ridges, what they do is help grip the water, and it really allows this bait to sit and shake while just sitting there. Now, the tail itself has a lot more ribs on it, and you're gonna notice that going from the bottom of the lure all the way to the tail, you're actually gonna get a little bit more rib section here, which really just helps it grip and sit and shake. And that is the beauty of this bait. You don't actually have to reel this in. You don't have to really give it much movement for it to actually move. It's naturally gonna move. The plastic on it is very, very soft, but pretty dense on the main body. And this tail here really shakes. So it has a great kind of inchworm effect, especially if you pull straight on it, where this bait inches along the bottom And especially when you get fish in the wintertime that are sucked down maybe to like ledges or little drains and stuff like that, this is a great lure to throw around those areas. Now, of course, you can fish it on other methods like a grass piece. That's a great option, a chatterbait. You can even set this up on something like a little swim jig, and it's still going to give you a great performance. Now, the main tail, again, not super thick at all. We've got a bunch of different colors. This green pumpkin chartreuse is one of my favorite colors, especially since it's really sitting down on the bottom. And when that tail really gets a little movement, it kind of flashes that chartreuse, which is really neat. Again, a lot of bluegill also have a little bit of a chartreuse or brighter tail that stands out in the water that bass like to key in on. These do come 5 in a pack, so make sure to check out the Shibo flat 3.6 inch. Now I think they do make a bigger size as well. It's going to be like a 4-incher, but we have 3.6s right now. Moving into another offering here, if you're living under a rock or you just don't enjoy forward-facing sonar minnows or keep up with a lot of the JDM stuff, the brand new 4.5-inch Deps Sakamata shads are now available. We only have a couple colors left at the time of recording, but these guys here are going to be just a new in-between size between that 4 and 5 inch. This is going to be a pretty universal overall good size for just catching fish. You know, even not just largemouth, not just you know, any other species like a striper or hybrids or anything like that. I mean, I've had crappie come up and eat these. Of course, the Sakamata shad with the wings up on the top of the bait allow it to get a really good rocking action. Probably one of the hottest lures used by Bass Pro Tour anglers, Elite Series anglers, Opens anglers. Overall, the like 6, 7, and 5 inch ones are going to be bought up extremely, extremely quickly. These 4.5s, I can't really say too much else about them. The plastic's really soft, they have a great rolling action, and they are very, very coveted by many anglers out there on tour. Moving on to a brand new offering as well from Deps here. This is the first time we've got these in. These are the Deps Frilled Shads, and this is kind of where I think the strolling, you know, the whole strolling phenomenon kind of took place. Now, these guys right here use a very soft vertical tail, which gives it a really good rolling action, number one. And two, take a look at that. This sucker, I probably should have grabbed one that doesn't like have the same color as my hand. But this Frilled Shad here has that little scoop on the top of the head. So this is like the original, whatever the 6-inch like ripoff is, instead of being on the bottom. This is on the top here, and it's going to allow this lure to have a natural rolling action, kind of like a crankbait does. Instead of diving, this one's going to actually want to stay up, which is another thing. If you fish forward-facing sonar, or you just actually listen to what the pros are saying on the live streams and stuff, fish usually eat up. I would say like 80% of the time, if you're giving them a minnow or shad presentation, they're eating up. So one of the great things about the Frilled Shad is with the bill, I'm gonna call it a bill, being on top of this bait is going to want to rise up and up and up, which is super, super good for getting those fish to commit. If it was on the bottom, typically it's driving it down, and you're gonna have to work even harder to get that bait up. Now, these guys right here are 4.7-inch, ultra soft, but still pretty durable. You know, the plastic is really pliable. It's not a very dense plastic. This one is actually a non-salt. We do have a couple that have some salt in them to add a little extra weight. Another great thing about this bait is it actually has a little split chamber in here to allow for easier hookup ratios, and you can still use a very, very small hook. I mean, I'm talking even like a 1 to 2 watt hook, and really have some good success on the water. These aren't always going to be the best option for just forward-facing sonar. I know a lot of people are gonna kind of really want to pigeonhole these, but I think these are going to be pretty universally easy to fish. You know, even if you're not looking at it, you can still just reel this in really slow, and it's still going to have that great side-to-side roll. It's gonna have a little bit of shake in the back of the tail. But these Frilled Shad, I think we've got like 4 or 5 different colors, and this little natural like pink smelt color is really, really sick. I don't know exactly which one it is off the top of my head, number 149, but clear water, this is super, super good. So make sure to check them out. The Frilled Shads, Sakamatas, Shibo Flats, as well as the Maggot Tails, all online, lakeprotackle.com. And I hope each and every one of you have a great Christmas time. Of course, make sure to check out the Christmas sales going on the 23rd, 24th. Buy one, get one, 50% off on reels the 23rd and rods on the 24th. So I can't wait to get a lot of rods shipped out for y'all. Of course, we've got great offerings from G. Loomis and Shimano and Daiwa, Leviathan swim bait rods, Dobbins, Halo, and so many more. Check them all out, lakeprotackle.com. Thanks for watching, guys.